This was a real jump into a dark chasm for me.
Yeah,
right.
Because it hadn't been a pub for 12 years. And obviously we were taking this big step into the dark, going very retro, very old school. Lots of people in the industry who knew the old Devonshire, which closed in the 2010s, always said it was a dog of a site and never
Really?
worked. And no one drank this end of Piccadilly, and it would be a disaster. I had literally spent 4 months, every time I closed my eyes, I had a vision of myself behind the bar there on my own and nobody coming in. And it was a recurring dream. It wouldn't go away until I got the bloody thing open. And it got to the stage where when we were a month away from opening, I was just like, fucking get it open for Christ's sake, because I can't sleep and I can't think straight. And all I want to do is pour pints and serve customers, even if there's only a few of them. But for me, it was...
and what was the takeoff like in terms of a graph? Was it a kind of sigmoid curve with the slow at first?
It was a hurricane.
It was a hurricane?
Yeah, it was. It really was like... Do you remember those old videos when Harrods used to do a sale in the 80s, and they'd always have the TV camera inside and they'd open the door and the whole street would rush in?
It was like that.
It was like that. Yeah. So quite the opposite of me standing alone behind the bar happened, but which brought another load of complications and problems, but we dealt with it, and it's doing all right. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Because I think when we had lunch, I think Charlie was talking like, I don't know if you purposely did this, but didn't you write a list of like really hard things down?
Yeah.
That almost would kind of no one else would be able to do.
Yeah, so there were...
Because I think that's a really good... in terms of getting people in, do things that no one else would bother doing, because then you're automatically different.
Well, there are unique selling points. If you see that picture there, you can see the beer taps are the Czech ones that run at twice the speed of the UK ones. And for us to get them plumbed in was a huge thing.
Right.
You know, we've spoken about the Guinness, about how we burn the wood for the Ember Grill, about the butchery. We bake all the bread on site. We've had our own
including soda
steak
bread,
knives,
just a bit of a plug.
steak knives, all of those. There was actually 38 unique selling points, and I had a really fraught and anxious conversation with Charlie probably about 2 months before we opened. Gone, we can't do all of these things. We need to cut this at least by a third.
Yeah.
And in his charismatic and measured and brilliant way, he just went, no, we're doing all of them. And we did.
What was the hardest couple to get over the line?
The ovens must have been.
The ovens is still quite a thing. I mean, we're burning 1/2 ton of oak a week in the middle of Piccadilly, so getting all the filtration and the cleaning and passing by the council, which we thankfully have, has been a thing. The butchery thing, which is now a big thing, because we own the whole sort of chain from when it leaves the abattoir to when it goes to on the plate, and that's 5 to 6 weeks now.
Wow.
So we have that much stock all the time. The wine list, the amount of wine, the Guinness, the logistics of getting the beer in and out and having it fresh and beautiful. The staffing, all the stuff. But I love it.
Yeah. But I think
none of it's been.
I think the idea of writing down a list of really hard things and running it hard is a great way to create like a massive gap between you and like competition. What's the equivalent of that, Rory, in terms of a client where you've basically wrote a list of things that are like, I suppose it's offspring of reverse benchmarking, but like when you write a list, I don't know, with any client, it could be Coca-Cola, it could be whoever, where you've said, right, this competition are going to struggle to do this.
Differentiation always requires you to do something that's a little bit bonkers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In other words, it's the thing you do that you don't have to do that carries the weight of the... This is where finance people are a catastrophe in marketing, you see. Because they go, well, the classic example is the Doubletree Hotel cookies, okay? There is, nobody ever goes to a hotel and goes, I found that hotel experience very disappointing. They didn't give me free warm cookies on check-in, okay? So those are the things that the finance people will always cut. But in the process, what they do is they make everything more and more alike to its competitors. And therefore, the things that you do that aren't actually necessary, the discretionary things, are the things that carry by far the greater part of the weight of communicating what makes you valuable.
Espressos is sponsored by supply chain software gurus Unleashed. It talks to your e-com and accounting software. It's helped islands cut admin time in half, get granular clarity on your margins, know where your stock is, don't miss availability. Brands like Candy Kittens, Tiny Rebel and Trip all use Unleashed, and so should you.